Does anyone have a question?
I have a practical question, Stuart.
Yes.
You never give advice about what to eat or what to drink. So the only rule you say is no drugs. But does it not matter to be conscious about what you eat? And then one more question with it again, also alcohol. Do you consider that as a drug as well? Voila.
Look, if I got it right, you're asking, should you be conscious about what you eat?
No, but I mean, you cannot eat everything. I mean, there's a lot of, you don't give any advice on what to eat or what not to eat. Is it?
Now, I have no advice on that. I discovered that as you grow in your life, you find out these things. Your body tells you these things. I mean, look, look, when I was younger, I ate hot dogs and hamburgers and all kinds of crap and candy. And as I got older and I got more evolved inside myself, my diet has changed. Over the last 3 months, my diet has changed considerably. And I listen to that. My body's telling me, don't eat a lot of sugar, don't eat a lot of carbohydrates, don't eat a lot. And over the last few months, I think I've lost almost 20 pounds, which I've been wanting to do for years. And so, yes, I mean, look, the chakra system lives inside your body. If your body is unhealthy, it's going to be very difficult because there's going to be a lot of pain, a lot of unpleasantness that you're going to have to deal with in order to open the chakra system. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it means that if you eat a healthier diet, and yet in the world we live in, there's so much garbage that, you go to the store, my God, 98% of the products are inedible, and we have to be conscious about how we choose our food. I mean, in my house here, Jennifer does all the shopping and she won't touch anything if it's not organic. It certainly is uplifted the very food that I consume in my body. So I'm grateful for that. My body says thank you. And it's not something I even thought about when I was younger. But as you grow and evolve and become more conscious, you want to consume food that is healthier food than people that, live on McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chicken and all that kind of stuff. So yes. And then there was something about alcohol and drugs.
Yeah. Is it bad to drink from time to time some alcohol, or is it also considered as a drug, Stuart?
Well, look, having a glass of wine with dinner is not going to do anything to damage you. Drinking a fifth of scotch every day is going to mess your whole system up. And by the time you do it for 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be an alcoholic. You're dependent upon that. And it will eat up your liver. It'll eat up your whole body, your mind, your body, the cells. I mean, and drugs are the same thing. They eat us alive. And we live in a world today where there's such a plentiful of these things, of drugs and alcohol. I mean, for God's sake, you can't watch a movie today without everybody sitting there and drinking, in the movie. It's just unbelievable. And I don't drink. I haven't had a shot of alcohol. It must be 25 years. But I even tasted alcohol, even beer and wine. I just one day recognized I don't like the taste of it. So why am I drinking this stuff? So I stopped drinking it. I don't have any rules and regulations. If you want to drink wine, I have no problems with that. I suggest a glass of wine with dinner is not going to do any damage. But if you start drinking a bottle of wine, a bottle of scotch, a bottle of rum, it's going to really mess up your whole physical and mental well-being. So it itself will tell you what to be conscious of. You want to take all these prescription drugs, you know, that oxycodone and all this, it's killing people. You know, fentanyl, all this stuff that people take. I mean, when I was younger, yeah, you smoked marijuana, okay. And one day I just said, it's enough. I don't need to do this. I learned a lot from it, though, from marijuana. I did. And the number of times I did LSD and hallucinogens. I mean, it was my first really profound experience of God, spirit. It opened up things in me that that were amazing. But I also realized while I was doing it, this is no way to get to God. Because after I got finished doing those drugs, I was like I was like a zombie. I could barely get out of bed. I had to sleep. I was tired, you know. And it's not like a meditation class like this. When you get finished, you have a ton of energy, you know? And it gives you energy to do your day and your life and to do it more consciously. Drugs will just eat you alive. And I'm not talking from, I mean, for God's sake, I was in a Spanish jail because of drugs. You know, I did drugs when I was younger, you know? I mean, but it's nothing I recommend. It's something that will kill you. And I learned it the hard way from going through. I mean, I never did addictive drugs, but I did hallucinogenic drugs. But mostly because they opened me to some kind of spiritual thing that I was dying to experience, and I never could experience it in my ordinary life. But I realized profoundly, this is no way to get to God. This is just going to kill you. This is going to waste. You're going to get these experiences that are going to waste all your energy. Going to drain you of all your energy and stuff. And then the day I met Rudy, the first thing he said to me is, no more drugs. It's the first thing he said to me. And I breathed a sigh of relief. I said, thank God. I needed somebody like him to tell me that. No more drugs. Never touched it again, ever. You know? And it's certainly, you know, at this point of my life, not having touched drugs has done no damage to the way my spiritual life has evolved. So, you know, I'm not here to judge people. I tell people, if you want to do marijuana and LSD and mushrooms and all this stuff, you know, I can't teach you. Because those drugs work in the same area that, you know, spiritual work, you know, meditation works, but they drain people's lives out of it. They drain your energy out of it. And I don't want to have to combat that. It's hard enough to combat the stuff that exists in people's heads. You have to combat the drugs and the alcohol and all that stuff. But again, a glass of wine with dinner a couple of times a week, not going to hurt anyone. I mean, in Europe, if you don't have a glass of wine with dinner, there's something wrong with you, you know? It's absolutely a necessary thing. I mean, you know, I lived in France for 5 years. I had a lot of glasses of wine with dinner while I lived there, you know? Drugs are another thing. Drugs are, I really think, very dangerous. Mostly because they give you the illusion of a spiritual life while they're doing something very dangerous. They're eating all your energy out of you. They're just consuming your energy. People turn into zombies, you know? And yet I don't judge because I've been through all that, and I tell people, okay, you want to come to these classes, don't do drugs. But if you want to do drugs, it's your life. You make your choices. I'm not here to judge anybody. I mean, I was cured of alcohol when I was 16 years old, you know? I mean it. I went to a party, I got really drunk, drank a whole bottle, fifth of scotch from literally milk left. I got so sick that after that day, even to this day, which is a lot of time, I cannot smell scotch or bourbon or rye without my stomach turning. It cured me. I was cured when I was 16 years old. A hell of a way to get cured. I could have killed myself. But it was just in it. I can't even smell the stuff. I can't go near the stuff. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, I didn't plan on talking about drugs and alcohol today, but it's a good subject in our modern world, and it's something that we need to be very conscious of because, I mean, look, I was reading, I saw on the news the other day, 100,000 people get killed in the United States from this fentanyl stuff that they sell. I mean, it's horrible. So it's something to talk about. It's something you have children to remind your children about. And, you know. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, then again, thank you, bless you all. Thank you for really making demands on me that are helping me to grow, and God bless you all. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Bless you.
Thank you.